All right. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our logistics committee meeting. One of the, logistics deals with a lot of the essential things that may keep the council up and running, and an important part of that is membership. So as we announced in our previous meeting and had sent out to the community, we do have a current vacancy. And we are happy that we had a number of people apply and be willing to join the council. We are going to use this time to get to know some of these persons a bit better. So the format of it, and we will highlight the members who, not the members, but the candidates who are looking to be part of the council. We will be asking them from the committee, from the council, a number of questions related to their interest in this position. The community, you are welcome to listen, etc. However, as a committee meeting, there is no public comment section. You're free to be engaged in that way, but this is relatively a closed meeting for us to do, as we are under open meeting law. So all of our deliberations and so forth should take place in the public. So we do have a number of our our council members on here. And once we officially start with the questions, we will go in a rotating order, asking the candidates pretty much the same question. But we will start 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, and going that kind of a rotating order. Our dear council member, Mr. Quentin Messerton, I believe would be helping take the lead on some of our questioning. So thank you guys again for coming out today. And I am going to, at this point, highlight the candidates who are here. So we have Miss Paquita Williams, we have Miss Erica Brooks, and we also have, I just saw you, Ms. April Harris. Okay, unfortunately, there was a fourth candidate who had an emergency and is unable to be with us this evening. We will follow up afterwards. So possibly to make it easy, we can start in alphabetical order once we get into questioning, and then keep the rotation going. So it would start first with Miss Erica Brooks, then Miss April Harris, Miss Paquita Williams. The following question is going to be April, Paquita, Erica, in that order. All right. So I guess council members will have to help keep ourselves accountable to make sure we're asking the right person. Works very easy when it's 1 and 2, but when it's from 3 and onwards, it starts to get a little bit more complicated. Quentin, I'm gonna turn over to you at this point. Do you want to say anything before we get into rounds of questioning?
Nothing to be said except candidates, take your time, pause, drink some water, and we're all very ready to hear your answers. And we came up with some easy, complex questions, and we're looking forward to hearing from all of you
guys. Okay.
Council members, Quentin, did you have a schedule of who asked which question, or are we going to rotate that also?
Hey, council members, if you want to ask a question, you can just like raise your hand, and then it's 5 questions. So I could start it off while everybody else thinks about it.
So actually, just again in the aim of efficiency and time, so Quentin's gonna ask question 1. Let's just keep it consistent for the candidates. Who do we have as a taker for question 2? First come, first serve from the council members. Adriana, okay, Adriana will ask the second question. Third question. Who would like to ask the third question? Who's on? Tanya, Simone, Lou. Julie, anyone wants to, okay, and if no one wants to ask the third question, I can ask the third question. Question
Simone
4?
raised her hand,
Oh,
Tifa.
Simone raised her hand. Okay, so Simone, you're number 3. Number 4?
Yeah, I can ask the number 4.
Who's who?
Lou. Yep.
Okay, y'all 2 is gonna ask number 4. And number 5, do you want to ask number 5? Is anyone, I'm not seeing any.
I can do it, Natifa. Number 5.
Who's I?
Tanya can do number
Okay,
5.
Tanya. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
perfect. So I don't have to ask any questions. And council members, you are, we did have the questions shared, so we're going to go into the order in which they were shared. Correct?
Timekeeper, should I be the timekeeper? 2 minutes per answer?
Sure. So Simone Dunbach is going to be our timekeeper. And again, just to reiterate, so we'll start with Ms. Brooks, Ms. Harris, Ms. Williams. The second question, we'll start with Ms. Harris, Ms. Williams, Ms. Brooks, and just go, then the third one, Ms. Williams, Ms. Brooks, Ms. Harris, and that rotates in order alphabetically, 2 minutes per question. And good luck, candidates. Quentin, it's all yours.
Great. Sorry about that light. All right, so this one is our first question. I was gonna mention, should I just post a question after I ask it in the chat? Just in case? I didn't hear you.
That can be helpful. I think is everyone fine with that? Yeah, so you just post that particular question.
Yeah, that one question. No
Correct.
problem. All right. The first question is, why do you want to be a CEC member, and what unique perspectives do you bring to our diverse and segregated district? Why do you want to be a CEC member, and what unique perspectives do you bring to our diverse and segregated district?
Okay, thank you, Quentin. So, first of all, I'm a mom of 2 boys. And for me, it is very important that we establish a very good, stable, and strong school system for our children. We cannot do that unless we have the proper representation for our families. And a lot of families are not aware of all the resources that is available to them. I myself am new to the school system. My son just entered 6th grade, so we're new to the public school system. And I'm just being made aware of all these resources that has been put into place to make the school system better. And then I'm just learning of the CEC. So I wasn't aware of this. And now that I am, and with all the work that is being done by the CEC, if we do not have people who understand exactly what it is our children need and have advocates for them, then there is not much to be done. But since there is something to be done, I want to be a part of it. And how I came to be aware of the CEC is through Mr. Quinton too, because I was at a PTA meeting and he was our representative. And I was curious. So I asked our PTA president, Ms. Walters, and she explained most of it to me. So I'm learning as I go.
30 seconds.
Okay, so I want to be that for especially our migrant families, and not to be considered minority, but to be in the fight to make our school system better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Harris, your turn. Well, the question is in the chat. Do you need it repeated?
No. I remember when Mr. Quentin said it. So what made me apply for the position is I saw the posting through the class dojo, and I didn't know what CEC was. So I have a lot of friends who are educators, like teachers, principals, superintendents, and I poked their brains and I was like, what is this? What is this? So they kind of gave me like a little bit of a rundown on what the committee does. So it kind of like sparked something in me where I'm like, this is what I want to participate in. And it partly comes from my son having an IEP. And he's only 5. But what happened is he started out in a 3K and he was having just a lot of problems. He couldn't sit still. He wasn't speaking. It was just a whole bunch of stuff. And I had to advocate that there was something off. And his teacher, God bless her, she and I were on the same page. So after like pushing and pushing and pushing, mid-year, I was able to get him evaluated and he got moved into an ICT class for 4K. So he was a 3K-er in the 4K. In PS 161. So once he went there and he was actually able to get the services that he needs, like he blossomed like a flower.
3 seconds.
Okay, but through all that, I still, all the time, every time we have these meetings, I have to like really, really push and advocate for the things that he needs. So I think about myself having resources and I think about other families who don't have the same resources. And we actually all should have a fair shot at the best education for our kids. I think joining the CEC28 would allow me to like help other families in that way.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Harris. And Ms. Williams, same question.
I'm a little nervous. Why do I want to be a CEC member? First, I was a PTA president. Well, I'm currently until the new year, PTA president at the middle school, my son's middle school. I am on the PTA. I sit on the SLT. I've done Title I. So I'm learning just a little bit. This is all new. I have children, but my children are adopted, you know. So I never had like biological children. And when I was younger, you know, I didn't know anything about the CEC, the PTA, the SLT until I you know, I got my children, and I have 2 sons with IEPs. So I understand totally what Ms. Harris. My oldest one is 15. Well, he'll be 15 now. So I understand and I feel her totally. Like I said, I sit in the different titles in the school, and when the opening came up, I thought it was like just a little bit above, like I don't know, could I do that? Am I qualified? What do I need? And I can just tell you I have a willingness to serve. I know you know, you learn everything, and like I said, I thought PTA was just selling cupcakes, but oh boy, I was open a rude awakening. It's so much more. And now, like I said, I never knew anything about any board, any higher boards than the PTA. And I just have a willingness to learn. Nothing deep.
3
Now,
seconds.
I'm retired. I'm a retired. I'm a retired conductor from New York City Transit. So I don't know the school stuff. And I think I was talking to someone and I said, don't ask me any hard math questions, you know, but I just have a willingness to learn. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we'll move to question number 2. Who has this one? I think Adriana. And the order this time will be Ms. Harris, Ms. Williams, and then Ms. Brooks.
Thank you, Natifa. Good evening, everyone. Question number 2. Can you share specific experiences that have prepared you for this role, particularly in working within diverse communities?
I'm sorry, your microphone was breaking up. I didn't, can you just repeat the question?
Absolutely. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit better, yeah.
Okay, great. Can you share specific experiences that have prepared you for this role, particularly in working within diverse communities?
Okay, yes. So my day job is I work for the Department of Sanitation and my title is Deputy Chief. So I've had this title for about 6 years. In that time, I have worked in the borough of Manhattan. I've worked in North Brooklyn, and I currently work on the eastern part of Queens now. So a part of my just daily job responsibilities is, you know, regularly attending community board meetings. So in Manhattan, I had to attend meetings in community boards 9, 10, and 11, which comprises Harlem, Spanish Harlem, and a little bit like lower on the west side. In Brooklyn, I had to go to community board meetings, and you know, it's neighborhoods that cover like Bed-Stuy and Williamsburg, community boards 3 and 4. And here in Queens, just all of them, community board 7, 11, 12, 13. I also regularly have meetings like with the council members that represent the citizens in those districts. And I also have regular meetings with the bids. So in different ways, I guess my job has like let me see how all the stakeholders together make the community what it is. And those parts of the city are all very, very diverse communities. They're all different. Community Board 7 has a tremendous, Community Board 7 has a large Asian population. You know, so that's just a completely different experience than say what my, you know, culture is. And I've been able to navigate that effectively. I enjoy what I do. I love helping. And I think that what I do has an effect, like a positive effect on the communities that I've had to work with and the other participants that I mentioned.
Okay. Thank you. Same questions, Ms. William. Do you need a question again? It's also in the chat.
No, I see it. Like I said, I am currently a PTA president. I sit on the SLT with the middle school. I sit on the SLT with the K through 5 school. I am a foster mom. I'm an adoptive mom. I am a foster and adoptive mom advocate. I'm a parent advocate for SEO. So that's a lot of diversity there because we have children, you know, children, parents, foster parents of you know, from all areas, all races. And just working in the schools. Like I said, I'm a retired, I used to work with New York City Transit, and I've currently, well, no, that's a lie. I retired 4 years ago. Time went by so quick, but I'm currently retired, and I worked there 22 years. So a lot of experience working and dealing with various people. Thank you.
Right, and last but not least on this question, Ms. Brooks.
Thank you. Okay, so first and foremost, my passion to help and serve has been something that has been instilled in me since childhood. I have a background in hospitality and tourism, also in health. So in the hospitality industry, you meet all sorts of people from all walks of life, from all different ethnicities, from all different backgrounds. And everybody comes with a different attitude, a different personality. They say serving a hungry man is normally a hangry man. And you just naturally become so immune to dealing with people who come from different backgrounds, different households, different countries, different races. And I don't think it gets as diverse as that in any other industry. So I've dealt with people from all walks of life. In the healthcare industry, it's the same thing. You have people coming in who are sick, who are mourning, who are grieving, who are worried. And you have to find a way to get through to that person so that at the end of the day, they feel more relaxed leaving, or you have to find a way to get through to them or let them know it's going to be all right. And also at schools, children, you have them coming into a new country from
30 seconds.
And you have to know how to get those parents to be comfortable enough to come into the schools and volunteer, get to know their PTA presidents and everyone. So I think that I can help in that department as to where diversity is concerned.
All right, thank you all. And question number 3, I believe that's, who has question number 3? Is that Tanya?
It's me. One moment. Okay. Evening and welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. How do you plan to be an effective council member? And what strategies would you use to engage with and represent all community members? Nasifa, what is the candidate order?
The order for this, it would be Miss Williams, Miss Brooks, Miss Harris.
Okay, I'm going to repeat it one more time. How do you plan to be an effective council member, and what strategies would you use to engage with and represent all community members? Ms. Williams.
Yes, yes, I wasn't really clear on that. How would I be an effective member? That's
Yeah.
part of the, yeah.
How do you plan to be an effective council member?
Well,
and what strategies would you use to engage with and represent all community members?
well,
Quentin, can you also put it in the chat, please? You can
yeah,
read it.
how do I plan to be effective? Well, I guess with, well, I'm not clear on that question. You know, sitting on the CEC, you know, they have bylaws, they have regulations, they have, and I would follow suit. I've been to some meetings and, you know, what strategies would I use to engage with and represent all communities? Well, the strategies that CEC set. You know, I don't think I can go rogue and say, well, I think we should do A, B, or C, but I think I would just follow the rules and regulations of the CEC. That's it.
Thank you, Miss Williams. Miss Brooks?
You missed, I think it's my turn. No?
No,
Oh, it's
no,
Miss
it's
Brooks.
we
Okay.
continue in the alphabetical, so we started.
All right, all right, all right. Sorry.
Okay. All right, there we go. I don't know what happened just now. All right, so can we have the question again one more time, please?
Sure. How do you plan to be an effective council member? And what strategies would you use to engage with and represent all community members?
All community members?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
So, like I said, I have 2 kids and they go to 2 different schools. My strategy to engage with all community members is to go into the schools, actually meeting with the guidance counselors, meeting with the principals, sitting in on PTA meetings, finding out what it is the school needs, what it is that parents are lacking, what is the need of the school pretty much to make it more functional, to make it more successful. And then all of this information that is collected, since we do have to go into the schools, we do have to have a relationship with the counselors and the principals. So I would have to just go into the schools, find out what is needed, find out what is lacking, and then we bring it back to you guys at the CEC. So we discuss it, we go over it, we implement different strategies in which we can help or in which we can assist the school, the families, and the students alike. That's what I would do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Brooks. And Ms. Harris, the same question.
Hi, sorry. I had to grab my son. He was running down the block. So what I think is really important in order to help serve the needs of the district is, I guess it's like being a little bit more on the ground, in the sense that I have to talk to principals, parents, So that kind of like would require that I maybe like bounce around and visit some places. I think it's important even to hear directly from parents. Not every parent probably logs into these meetings. For whatever reason, it could be time they can't. So I think it's really important to probably take the time and visit schools and talk to parents, talk to the principals, the staff, to just kind of see what the needs of the community are. And different groups actually have different concerns. So, it would then be trying to balance everyone's needs as best as possible and come up with, solutions to just try to incorporate what everyone needs and make it work.
All right, thank you. And I believe that's the end of the round for this question. So we will start back again with question 4 with Ms. Brooks. Utah, I believe you're up.
This is Lou. I think I signed up for that one.
Sorry. Lou.
Yep. Okay. So the question is, given the hybrid nature of CEC meeting and additional responsibility as a school liaison, do you foresee any conflict with your current commitments? How do you plan to manage your time? Thank you.
Can you repeat the question, Lou?
Yeah, so question is, given the hybrid nature of CEC meeting and additional responsibility as a school liaison, do you foresee any conflict with your current commitments? How do you plan to manage your time?
Ms. Brooks, you're first, followed by Ms. Harris and then Ms. Williams. You're muted, Ms. Brooks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so first of all, I am a stay-at-home mom, so I have time to spare when kids are not home. And so while the kids are at school, I do have time on given days that I can go into the schools, meet with whoever I need to meet with, principals, counselors, and all of that. So when I signed up for this role too, I knew that this would be an expectation of the position that I'm signing up for. So I know I have to be visiting schools. I know I would have to be participating in meetings. I know sometimes the meeting will run long because I also looked on your website and I did tune into some of the meetings that you guys have, and I see that sometimes they run 3 hours or more. So I did take into consideration that I will need to have time on my hands to do this, and time for now is what I do have. So going to all the meetings, sitting in, participating will not be a problem.
Right.
Thank you.
Ms. Harris, thank you.
Hi. So I might have the opposite situation where I work a good amount of the year. I have a lot of responsibilities. I have meetings. I have different things that I have to do. But you also have tools that help you stay organized. Whether it be reminders, emails, notes to self. So that's kind of like how I stay organized. I'm also a single mom. I'm outside with my kids. I'm also a single mom with 2 kids, a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old. I have a foster son who is 18. And he has different commitments that I kind of like have to help him with. But I managed to do it all now. I can't foresee me not being able to manage my time to help with the CEC. I wouldn't have put my name in for the position if I thought that I couldn't. I do 100. 1 second, Ben. I do stand manage type. So I don't foresee it being a problem. I feel pretty comfortable juggling things at once. Part of what I do at work is like visiting, different places within Eastern Queens. So like visiting schools is just a different way, a different thing that
30 seconds.
like I said, I wouldn't apply it if I thought that I wouldn't have applied if I thought that there would be a conflict. So I feel pretty confident that I time manage.
You and Ms. Williams.
Yes, given the nature hybrid. Okay, well, again, I am retired. I have children. They're all school age, and except for the baby. Well, he's school age too because he's in daycare. So I have plenty of time. I'm currently a PTA president. I was in the school every day, 5 days a week. But a new PTA president is coming in, so that's going to free up some time. I wouldn't have a problem with any of my current commitments. On the SLT, my young son is leaving that school, so I won't be on the SLT there. My foster parent meetings, they're once a month, so I have plenty of time. And again, a willingness to serve. I've been on some of the CEC meetings where they've gone for a few hours. Sometimes I've gotten lost, like, what are we talking about now? But I hang out and, pull it together. So I have plenty of time and willingness. Thank you.
Thank you. And question 5, and I believe yes, that was all 3, right? So question 5 on that is Tanya, and we will start with Ms. Harris, Ms. Williams, and end with Ms. Brooks.
All right, last question. How would you approach building consensus on divisive issues within the council, especially when the majority opinion differs from your own? And can you provide an example from your past experience?
One of the key things when you're trying to either resolve a conflict or negotiate something is you kind of have to assess where you have movement. And when I say movement, meaning like, let's say there's 3 main things that, the opposing party wants or that you want. What's a deal breaker? What can you find space to like maybe move and meet in the middle? Or what is something that's important, but just extremely flexible on it. So that's like the first thing, you kind of like start to see where people are at. Secondly, you have to hear the other side out, whether you agree or disagree, and you have to voice your opinion. And sometimes you have to come up with a new solution, completely new. Sometimes you can revert back to a previous time there was a conflict and a way or a strategy that you used to like come to a consensus about it. And also like there just has to kind of like be a trust factor that goes into like resolving conflicts, meaning like I trust that we're all honest. I trust that we're all here with ultimately the same intention. And you just work it out. Every solution is not always the same, but sometimes you can just reach back to a previous situation and find your way through. Perfect example is one of the roles that I have to do on a regular basis at work is
30 seconds.
adjudicate. I have to like sometimes adjudicate disciplinary situations. I have to do labor management negotiation, actually, or my union, the executive board. So, sometimes fights get heated. Sometimes it seems impossible, but you just have to like step away sometimes, and then you come back and something overnight, but you also have to work towards getting it done. So, I do that regularly. I do it when I do like my union stuff. It's just what you have to do, and it's just what you have to do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Williams.
All right, I want to go into a long, deep, but the thing is, how would you
Remember, you
approach
do have
building
2 minutes.
consensus on diverse issues within, no, because within the council? Listen, you know, I have an opinion, they have an opinion, we all sit together, and if they say the color is blue, the color is blue, you know, I can't get angry about it, you know, because I think that it should be this, so I think it should be that. You know, through through the years of working with various people and various organizations, you know, if the majority say this is what we're going to do, I follow, you know, and keep it that simple. That's it. Oh wait, was I muted?
No, we
Oh,
heard you. We heard you.
oh, you muted? Oh,
No, you're not
oh,
muted. You were fine.
We can hear
okay.
We
you.
heard everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, if they say the color's blue today, okay, all in favor. And I'm like, oh, we should be orange. I roll with it. That's it.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Williams. And Ms. Brooks, you get to wrap up that question.
Okay, so first and foremost, it's not about me. And at the end of the day, it's not about what I want. It's all about us working together as a team, whether we agree, whether we disagree on certain matters. At the end of the day, it comes down to finding a common ground, one that is going to be beneficial to our schools, to our children, and to our families. And at the end of the day, we all have to come to a compromise. We all have to come to a decision. So it makes no sense for us to sit down and be arguing or disagreeing or whatever. So we're going to come up, we're going to vote on one of the ideas, the best idea. It might not be mine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be mine. And I'm willing to accept that my idea may not be the best idea. But whoever comes up with the idea that is going to work in the favor of the school and of the families, as I said, and of the children, then that is what we're going to go with. So agreeing to disagree is fine. Resolving the conflict, it's fine. At the end of the day, it's about the schools, it's about the families. So we just have to be on common ground. And like they say, where like-minded people come together, great things can happen. So that's what we're working for towards. So that's what we're going to be doing. And that's what we need to just make sure that is what we do when we get together. Disagree, agree, whatever. At the end of the day, we just have to come up with one main goal. Thank you.
Thank you to all three of you. At this point, that concludes our questions. I am going to actually turn it over to our esteemed president, Mr. DJ Ramjatan, who joined us in the middle of your questions. So don't want to disturb you, but we're going to give him an opportunity to make a few remarks.
Thank you so much, Recording Secretary Latifah Lewis, to Ms. Williams, Ms. Brooks, and Ms. Harris. So I want to thank you for applying to be part of the CEC. Just a few words about CEC28. I've seen all of your faces on our meetings before, so I'm a little familiar with you being present at our meetings in the past. CEC28 is a very high-functioning council. We are very effective and efficient in terms of really being a voice of the community, and what you're applying to be part of is something great. Everything from District 28 is great, including our CEC. And we hold each other accountable. We hold each other accountable to make sure we are doing what's right for the students, the parents, and the whole community as a whole. And we are collaborators and partnered with all the stakeholders in our district. I'm so proud of my team here to be part of this amazing CEC team. And, you know, we look forward to welcoming one of you on our council. Thank you so much, Latifah, for taking the lead, and to all the council members for taking the lead to make sure we have a very successful candidate interviewing experience. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Thank you to everyone. As we said, this concludes our questioning. We will discuss a little bit more among our council, and we will be making our decisions at a vote at the next full public calendar meeting. So at our July meeting, we're gonna have a busy July meeting. But thank you all for taking the time out. I've always said I think CC is in good hands. We have a lot of people who are willing to serve, coming from diverse backgrounds, coming from so many different ways. But the one commonality is that everyone wants to serve and wants to serve with a genuineness. So thank you again, Ms. Brooks. Thank you, Ms. Harris. Thank you, Ms. Williams. Thank you, community. This is a last minute committee meeting that was set at our last meeting, and there's at least 23 of you on a evening that we could be doing something else. So thank you for coming out with us. Council members, VJ, I wanted to make a motion for us to move into an executive session. Just the council members.
I second that, yes.
Okay, so council members, I'm opening a breakout room. Community members, you can hang around because we will come back in here. Candidates, if you are free to either stay or you can drop off, because we are finished with our questions for you today. We will, as I said, have the vote at our meeting, and our executive or administrative assistant will be in touch and follow up with you in terms of that as well. However,
sorry, Latifa, really quickly, a quick note: our July meeting will not be on the first Thursday of July as we customarily do. It will be on the 11th of July, Thursday, the 11th of July, not Thursday, July 4th.
Okay, yes, I'm pretty sure most of you wouldn't join us on on your Independence holiday. So council members, I am opening the breakout room and assigning you temporarily. So community members, again, thank you for being here with us. Candidates, thank you for coming out and sharing your time and answers with us. Just bear with me a minute as I move the members in. I think I got just about everyone: BJ, Utal, Tanya, Simone, Quentin, Lou, GK, Julie, Adriana. Am I missing anybody? And I also want to make a motion to include our admin assistant Dorinda with us.
I second that.
Okay, and Dorinda. So I am opening the room. Again, community, thank you. You are free to drop off, or you can wait till we come up. We'll just be in for a couple minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, Ms. Lewis, I'm gonna leave.
We are one left back. Why are we the only ones? Oh my God.
They all left us.
But that's good. We don't have to report back. Talk too much.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, that's it for us. We did get what we wanted to do accomplished, and we had a discussion on it. So our vote should be simple at the next meeting. Did VJ drop as well, or no? There he is. VJ, any last words? That sounds so final. Okay, any parting words? We can't hear you. Can you hear him? No, I think he dropped again.
He hung up on us like that fourth.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna, I guess, stop the recording.